What is up, guys? So I actually read through a lot of the comments on my channel and this was pointed out a few times, so I tried it and it's disgusting. I feel genuinely a little bit ill after playing this today. Proof that you guys are just as bad as me. In fact, actually one of the guys who suggested it has a whole YouTube channel about Heimerdinger. I don't know how he can do that, but I'll put the link down below and you can check him out. If you end up liking this video, throw it a like, dislike it if you don't, but let's get on with this horrible way to win a game. Do you guys remember my Zz'Rot Banner cheese video? If you don't, I'm gonna throw a link to that because it's hilarious. It's dirty, but it's hilarious. And this is even worse, even dirtier. Heimerdinger is already a pain in the ass to play against. You just put your turrets down, you push endlessly, and if anyone tries to stop you, you're gonna hide next to your turrets and let them do all the work. Now we can play here mid or top, doesn't really matter, do well in both lanes actually, and it's not really the lane that matters. We're playing PvE, boys, we want towers. You probably won't have the best score on this guy when you're playing him like this, but that doesn't matter. You are winning the game and you're being a huge pain in the ass to deal with, trust me. The whole point of this, okay, is to push a lot. Take towers, inhibs, the nexus, all of it is yours to take. So Banner of Command is going to be our first item. That's going to be what we rush. It gives us some AP, which is nice, a few tanky stats, but the active is actually where the fun starts. Heimer turrets can take towers really fast, right, but they die quickly, so it doesn't really work as well as we want it to. This is where the whole balanced banner minion comes in. Stick it on a cannon, let the cannon get aggro from the tower, then pop your turrets down and a tower is going to disappear. It is actually so hard to get rid of a banner minion anyway, especially if you're AP, because it's immune to magic damage, so they're standing there auto-attacking the big ass cannon while you either attack the turret or you're hitting them for free. This is partly why it doesn't matter if you go mid or top. Like, I've been playing him top lane, I played one game of him mid lane and it was against an Ahri and she couldn't get rid of the banner minions, so it just pushed and took her tower. Honestly, this is a win-win, okay? Half the time they just cry to themselves under tower and they've lost the tower. The other half they come up to kill the cannon and we grenade, we stun, pop down my ultimate turret and kill them for it. Either way, we are going to get that tower, boys, even if the jungler comes to try and stop you. Like, you might die, honestly, you're asking to get killed doing this, but I normally always took at least one of them with me. That circle of death with your turrets is amazing, especially with your big one. The ultimate one, just kite around, take one of them down with you, maybe even both, maybe even get the banner cannon minion to help you too. So that is kind of what it mostly revolves around, but then if that wasn't aids enough already, we're going to add a Zz'Rot in there as well. This is where it really gets ridiculous. This is where your opponent starts to hate his life and thinks to himself, why am I even playing this game in the first place? If you actually think about it, they have to now deal with the banner cannon minion, your turrets, your Zz'Rot minion things, and you. Like, you're still a champion, you still hurt, so they have 4 different things to try and deal with at the same time. Good luck with that. This is going to be your core, those 2 items. It isn't really going to net you the biggest like KDA ever, as we said. I mean, you can actually kill people with this definitely, but the whole point is to take towers and basically become unstoppable. You're almost always going to reach a point where your laner can't deal with you anymore and doesn't have an answer. They can't fight you because you have your army of turrets around you and they can't stop you. The banner minion is too difficult to deal with alongside everything else. There are basically 3 ways my games went with this. Number 1, the jungler comes top, or in some cases actually the entire enemy team, and that is fine because the rest of your team is going to be 4v3 or whatever and they can take something on the rest of the map. The second way was the enemy laner tries to stop you and stays in lane. This is also kind of fine really. They won't be able to stop you pushing and you're going to get the towers eventually. Maybe even be able to dive them honestly after a little bit of poke. Number 3, the enemy top laner leaves and tries to group and force fights. This one is great for us because we take towers so fast. We banner up, we Zz'Rot and just pound away. It is a little risky on the side, like if our team gets caught and stuff, but honestly, even if they do, we'll probably get 2 towers or an inhib out of it, so it's worth anyway. You're probably starting to see why this is so horrible to play against now. What do you actually do? Like, all 3 scenarios work out fine for Heimer really. In all 3, he's going to have a big impact and be an absolute pain in the arse. So boost of swiftness are really good to just run around and escape if anyone tries to collapse, but once we've got our core, we can choose from a few different styles, I guess. This is actually the build I went because it's so funny. It's the stupid build of Sunfire, Visage, and basically tank. I know this is ridiculous, okay? Tank meta is so much fun, right, boys? You basically push really fast with this and you don't die. You don't do as much damage and it's harder to dive, but they won't be able to stop you really. The second is the ham option. That's kind of kill people under tower. We have the push now, so let's just poke them under tower and kill them. Third is kind of somewhere in the middle, a mix of both. I actually bought Rylai's and Sunfire one game and did quite well, so there you go. That's how dumb it is. Build anything and still take their whole base. Runes wise, we're going to go standard stuff. Magic Pen reds, armor yellows, magic magic resist blues, and AP quints masteries. Thunderlords is what I've been using, and you could probably use some other stuff here, but it gives us a nice bit of damage to kill people or trade early. There are a few other things to point out that make this extra ridiculous if that wasn't already enough. First off, you can take Baron very easily with Heimer in general on your team. You pop down your turrets and away you go. It gives your team more than enough damage to take it down if you guys aren't spotted. With Baron as well, or even the Rift Herald buff actually, this becomes even worse. Like seriously, really hard to deal with. Baron minions plus Banner plus Zz'Rot plus turrets are just too difficult to deal with. There is basically nothing they can do. No one person is going to be able to stop you, and so someone else is going to have to come. If they don't, you get towers for free. So there you go, the most AIDS build that I've ever come across that is Banner Zz'Rot tank Heimerdinger. Have fun with that one, boys, and I'm so sorry in advance. I just couldn't not make a video about this. This is so funny, honestly. It's really rage inducing for the enemy to play against. So like, subscribe, comment, share, but for now, let's go to the robots.